Hey guys, today's case is one that has remained unsolved for 17 years now. We're talking about the 2008 Tinley Park, Illinois, Lane Bryant massacre. Yes, Lane Bryant, like the stores with women's plus size women's clothing. Massacre. Unsolved, still. Wild. So stay tuned to find out what happened and see if you can help. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel, Two Peas in a Crime Pod.
Episode 39.
39. Hell yeah.
Yeah, 39 episodes is good.
To our subscribers, yo, 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 yo. What up, what up, what up, what up? To everybody else, hi, hello. Why are you just now joining us? Where have you been? Just kidding. It's
Seriously,
good to have you here.
It is. Thank you so much. And we hope that you watch the episode and hit like and subscribe.
Yes,
We upload
like and subscribe
3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And we are having the time of our lives doing this.
I had the time of my life. Talking about murder. How are you, my mama?
Wonderful.
With your pretty hair.
I'm very good.
And your pretty shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Pretty, pretty.
You're pretty, pretty.
Stop.
Look at you.
She get it from her mama.
Lovely girl. How's life?
You know.
Never mind. Let's go with a different question.
It's great. Where do I begin? Yeah, until this class is over and or I have a heart attack and die. I'm just taking it day by day.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
So never in the history of the universe has there been a fucking class. Like, I might as well be a fucking doctor or a lawyer studying for the fucking bar over the amount of fucking stress that I feel for this class. Maybe I'm just a neurotic piece of shit. Sure. I'll tell anybody that. But as an instructor, you have to know neurotic pieces of shit might take your class, and the curriculum should not kill them for a part-time class. We're taking
You gotta
one
lose
class.
everybody. You'll lose all your students.
One class.
Yeah.
One class. There's times in my life where I've been taking 4 classes at a fucking time and was not as stressed or dedicating as much time at all, not even a fucking quarter of the time, and acing them.
Right.
Now, as far as grades go, I'm still passing this class, like, grade-wise. But if you don't pass the 60 words per minute,
you don't pass.
So I could, like, in theory, get, like, a low A and still not, like, pass this class.
For those of you that haven't seen in previous episodes, she is taking court stenography classes. So she's the person on the machine.
I'm learning shorthand and it's dictation. So you listen to somebody read something and then you type it out on the stenograph machine. So it's not like a regular keyboard that you're used to. It's shorthand. You have to be able to type it out in real time. And you start out at 60 words per minute. So my dictation sounds like this, and they're talking at this speed. What's frustrating is that if I had a regular keyboard, I could actually
type at that
speed, no fucking problem, and not miss a fucking word. But the point of it is that if you're learning shorthand, it's like a new language. So it's being able to hear what they're saying, think about what the shorthand stroke is for that, and get it out in real time. And, like, for instance, a lot of times when they're talking to juries, they say ladies and gentlemen a lot. So instead of having to type ladies and gentlemen, which is however many fucking letters, or at the bare minimum, it's 3 words, I hit the HR key, which means L, and GZ, and I know that that means ladies and gentlemen. So when I stroke those 4 keys at one time, on my screen goes ladies and gentlemen, like that. So there's these little shorts in there that that'll pick it up. So like there's ways, like if I'm falling behind a little bit, there's these little phrases that I can use that'll pick it back up quicker. But you have to remember what you made the phrase. You have to
Right.
like, it's just I don't do good with time tests. I was always an A math student. Loved math. Always did great. Always in advanced math. You know what I couldn't do? The fucking minute time math test where you had to
Oh,
do multiplication in a minute. You'd have thought I'd never learned multiplication, because I have anxiety disorder and I can't deal with that.
I used to love those. How many you get in a minute? Yeah.
No, kill me.
Oh.
Quick. No, I fucking hate that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, like, do I know that with time I will be able to type verbatim? Yes. I absolutely, from the start of this class when we were just learning the theory and like my hands were just struggling to like hit the certain keystrokes to like now, I obviously can see that this is like I'm capable and I can do it. It's just like the stress of every week knowing that I'm about to take these 9 timed tests and that I'm about to fail all 9 of them. It like, I don't, like, me personally, no, I can't deal with that. I'm going to drive my car off a bridge. I cannot cope with this. Like, it's making me fucking insane for how much time like I'm putting in.
Yeah.
And then
That's how I feel about my diet.
last week I did not. Yes. Yeah. It's like Instagram. It's like I'm studying enough. I should be doing better. Yeah. Last week I did not feel well. I don't know what the fuck's going on with me. I think I'm having some sort of a fucking autoimmune flare up because like my muscles were absolutely killing me. Like I got hit by a truck for no reason. And I was sleeping like over 12 hours a day. Like I didn't have the kids over the weekend, so I had no reason to get out of bed. And let me tell you, I did not. Didn't. Couldn't. Like, couldn't keep my fucking eyes open. Not usual for me.
My theory is that she's stressing herself out because of the class and it's taking a toll on her physically because of her autoimmune disorder. And your body is shutting down because you are too stressed.
Could be. I
Wait,
can't say that she's wrong.
it could be. That's my theory.
I don't know. Because they say
But what
that
can we do about that?
they say my meds could make me fatigued within the first 24 to 48 hours of taking them. Haven't had any nausea, haven't had any like, it's kind of like taking a Tylenol. I wouldn't know that I'm taking it, which I'm so thankful for because I was really afraid that it was going to like put me down and out. So I don't think it's the meds.
No, I think it's this class.
Yeah, no, it's just like absolutely dreading listening to those fucking recordings 80 times in a row and still not hitting the fucking mark. If you had to listen to someone talking like this over and over again 45 times in a row for 18 hours a week, you would also want to put a gun in your mouth.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
Ugh.
I like your voice. You should be the person dictating.
The one is about elements on the periodic table and how to make iron and how to make metal, and it's about metallurgy.
Ew.
Metallurgy. Mom, you've lived 50 plus years now. How many times in your life have you heard the word metallurgy?
Probably 3.
Okay. The last 3 times that I just said it. Yeah. So when I'm like struggling to remember what I made the fucking stroke for metallurgy, because how many times am I ever gonna fucking type out metallurgy? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, why are you trying to fuck me up? Why are you trying to fuck me? Can we say words that are actually gonna come up?
Right.
I'm gonna be at court cases in Canton, Ohio. I need to be adding slurs and cuss words and baby daddy, and it's fine.
Mhm.
This is fine. I'm gonna trust the process.
Oh my. Okay. Well, It's all you can do. What else can you do? You're not going to quit. You got to roll with the punches. And
No, I already took the money out, so gotta pass the class now. How are you, Mama?
I'm great. Yeah, just living the dream, staying on track with my diet and exercising. It's a new month. Got through the first month. Now focused towards the next month, and the mistakes that I made in the first month, I'm revamping and refiguring how to cope if that situation comes up, or what I can do
What
to.
happens if there's lemon squirts at the party? What
Right.
do you do?
My theory on that is bring my own fruit that I can snack on if I get an urge to eat something sweet that is
I
food
could
I'm around.
squirt lemon juice into your eyes and deter you from wanting.
That would work,
I'm just trying to be helpful.
but then I couldn't play the game.
That's true. wouldn't
So
want that.
that's counter-effective. We're working
We'll have
on
to revamp this.
effective, not ineffective methods.
This is true.
Anyways, I'm on my second month, and I learned a lot my first month, and I still lost weight even though I wasn't perfect, and I lost inches.
That's good.
Yeah, and so I feel good. It's going to go slower than I had hoped, but I talked to my chat
Progress is
GPT,
progress.
and chat GPT is chiding me and saying, why do you want to lose more than 3 pounds a week? That's unhealthy. And that's about all you can lose unless you take your calories down to 300 calories a day, which would not be healthy. And it's saying I'm right on track with I'm losing exactly what I should be losing based on the calories I'm taking in.
Okay.
And that because I even was like, well, what would I be losing if I had weight loss surgery? And it's like the same or less than what you're doing now. You're on track. So, and it's be proud of yourself because you're on track without having had surgery, and you're just
Right.
you're changing everything you need to change. That is going to make, if somebody had a surgery, they'd have to learn that and do it anyways, or they're going to gain their weight back. So this is eliminating.
Yeah, that's why the surgeries are not as important as the lifestyle changes.
Yeah, it has to be a new habit.
Yeah, you can have a surgery and lose all that weight, but if you never talked, or you never taught with yourself or sat with yourself when you're like depressed, and that's when you just want to like overeat, that's what's going to happen the first time after your surgery. You're depressed.
Yes.
You're fucking overeat again, and you're going to gain weight back. So you're doing the right things. That's awesome.
Thank you. I feel pretty good.
Good.
Shall we?
Well, what's the case?
All right, this is an unusual case. I never heard of this before. I don't know if it's well covered or not, but I never heard of it. Have you heard of the Lane Bryant murders of Tinley Park, Illinois?
Lane Bryant, like the chubby girl clothesline?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay.
This is all sounding new to me.
Okay, so this takes place on February 2nd of 2008.
Okay.
On a quiet Saturday morning in suburban Illinois, 6 women walked into a clothing store. 5 of them never walked out. There was no warning, no screaming heard from the parking lot, no shattering glass, no frantic witnesses running for help, just a locked back room, bound hands, and a gunman who stayed inside for nearly 45 minutes. Yeah, this is the story of the Lane Bryant murders.
Yeah, no, I'd
Okay.
never heard this.
I hadn't either. I was like, this is a case I gotta, because I shop at Lane Bryant.
I was gonna say, and to clarify, I called it the Chubby Girl store. That's no hate. That's no shame.
No, it's just
I could probably
plus size clothing,
shop
and
there.
it's very well tailored and chic, or I should say chic. I always call it chic. Chic and very expensive though. That's one thing about it. It's pricey, but it's well made.
Because it's made well and you're not going to rip out of it or
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get all my nice stuff there.
Yeah, no, I'm like one more bad day away from eating myself into needing to shop there. So what was the other one? Fashion Bug.
Yeah, they're actually same
like maker or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Same manufacturer or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Fashion Bug was just the less expensive version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But let's talk about the women first that were there at the store.
Okay.
All right, we have Rhoda McFarland. She was 42 years old and she lived in Joliet, Illinois. She was the store manager and she was just scheduled to work that day. As the store manager, she opened the store on Saturday mornings. And personally, she was engaged in planning a wedding. And she was described by family as warm and forgiving. She was known to be responsible and dependable. And so she was just there that day doing her job.
Just working.
Yep.
Yep.
Then we have Carrie Hudek Chiuso. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, so I apologize. It's Chiuso. She was 33 years old. She lived in Frankfort, Illinois, and was employed as a social worker, working with students in a counseling capacity. She was described as compassionate and community focused. Carrie was married and she just simply stopped in that morning to do some shopping. Then we have Connie Woolfolk. She was 37, of Flossmoor, Illinois. She was a single mother of 2 sons. She had gone to the plaza for a manicure, but decided to shop at Lane Bryant while there. Just spur of the
Right.
moment thing. Connie was described as devoted and very hardworking. Then we have, I'm going to mess this up, Sarah Zafransky, 22. She lived in in Oak Forest, Illinois. She worked part-time at Lane Bryant and she was working her scheduled shift that morning. She was a recent college graduate and also the youngest victim. Next is Jennifer Bishop, who was 34 years old. She resided in South Bend, Indiana. She was employed as a nurse and was the mother of 3 children, including an infant. She happened to be in the Illinois area and was just shopping. And Jennifer's family later spoke publicly about her dedication as a mother. Then there was the surviving victim. Her identity has never been released publicly. What is known is that she was shot but survived, and she provided the key suspect description. And after this all happened, made a public statement of sympathy to the victims' families, just calling them the bravest women she had ever known. Because, she went through this horrible experience with them, and
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like. But that's all of the women involved. It's lucky that there's not more, considering the fact that he was there for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But okay. Employees that were scheduled that morning included Rhoda and Sarah. And then the customers arrived was Carrie, Jennifer, and Connie. And then also the 6th woman whose identity is withheld. We don't know much about anything about her because she's under witness protection.
Right.
So at approximately 10 o'clock, between 10 and 10:15, a man entered the store. Based on Sarah's description, he was a black male.
Sarah's.
Wasn't her name Sarah?
Didn't you just say the surviving victim was never named?
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about the part-time employee. That's right. No, that's not the survivor.
Okay.
So based on the survivor's description, he was a black male, approximately 6 foot to 6'2", with a husky build. He had large cornrows. Instead of like the real skinny ones, they were like maybe 5 across his head.
Okay.
And there was one braid hanging down the right side of his face that had 4 light green beads at the end of the braid.
Okay.
She was very observant.
Yeah.
He wore a dark waist-length jacket and dark jeans with decorative stitching. Said to be like on the back pockets of the jeans. This is back when everybody had bling back there.
Yeah.
Remember when that was popular?
Yes.
That was the fad. So it was like that. And
Bedazzled.
Bedazzled.
Yeah.
And then a charcoal gray cap. He was armed with a .40 caliber semi-automatic handgun. And he reportedly posed as a delivery driver. Unfortunately, there's no surveillance video from inside the store, so we just have to go on
The surviving victims.
Yeah, what do they call that when they make a picture? The composite
Yes.
sketch. Within minutes, The gunman became agitated and ordered all the women in the store to go to the back stockroom. In the course of about 45 minutes, 6 women were forced into this stockroom area. They weren't all there at the same time. So he took a few back and bound them, and then more women came into the store.
Oh, okay.
So it is just, I don't know why he didn't lock the door.
Right.
It's just weird why he didn't just take the money and run,
Yeah.
because it's just a robbery.
It's 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 weird, not random, odd for a robbery to escalate into this much murder. Like,
Yes.
that doesn't happen a
No.
lot for just like your typical people who want to like rob a place.
Yeah, we'll get into the speculation
Because
later.
most people would wear something like cover their face.
Exactly.
Like to
So
help.
that they don't have to kill people.
Right.
Yes, exactly. All right, so their hands were bound behind their backs. And then around 10:40, 10:45, the store manager, what was her name? Rhoda, got free of her restraints. And this woman, she was one of the bravest women that somebody could meet. Rather than flee and get out, she called 911 and stayed with the women. So while
Oh, that's a real one.
yeah, she called 911, and on the call you could hear her voice. I heard it. So you can't make out what anybody's saying. It's very muffled, but you can hear the suspect's voice in the background, and then the call disconnects. So he came in, caught her on the phone,
And right.
took the phone, disconnect the call. But in the meanwhile, they did release that, hoping that somebody would recognize like
His
the timbre
voice
of his voice, even though you can't really understand what he's saying. You can tell by, some people just have a tone of voice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like if you were to hear,
Oh, when I worked at UPS, I oversaw at times 100 drivers a night, like peak season, and the other center person called off, and my center had 60 people, and the other center had 45 people, and I was taking all the calls. At the end of the night, the drivers call for one reason or another. Not all 100 of them, but a lot.
right.
But I will tell you, those drivers, the position that I had, when they call in, they just start talking. They don't fucking introduce themselves. They're annoyed that there's another new person in the seat. They don't have time for all that. They just start talking. I learned every single person's voice, every single one of them. It was so rare that someone called that I did not immediately like pick up, like, all right, Mike, what do you need? Like, all right, John. Oh, hey, like, I just learned all of their voices. And it didn't take me that long either. And yeah, as far as like like if I would have had to like do like an eyes closed, like I could have turned my back and one by one they could have stepped forward and spoken. I'd have been like,
And you
it's
didn't
him,
know.
it's
Yes.
him, it's him. Yeah, you do, especially if it's someone you're around a lot or a person you went to school with or worked with. You do absolutely learn voices. And there would always be like the two guys that had a very similar voice. And I'd be like,
are you this one or this
sometimes
one?
I'd have to go by how angry they were. I'd be like, oh, it's this one.
Okay.
Like, that would be the only identifiers. If they were motherfucking something, I'd be like, that's never him. It's always him. But like, oh no, you can absolutely hone in on a voice.
So theoretically, somebody out there should have been able to recognize this person that was close to them, who it would have been the same as if you heard a recording of Chris on a 911 call. You'd be like, that sounds just like
background.
My stepdad.
Yeah.
You would
Unless
know, you would
was
recognize
absolute
it.
Garbage. But my guess is that they wouldn't have released it if it was garbage.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't. They also don't want a bunch of like false reports coming in. That's not helpful.
Right.
So yeah, if there was any like, even if just for a second you could hear like 3 words of like clear audible tone, I'm telling you, that's all I needed on the phone. I'd be like, UPS, it was so and so. How can I help you? And they'd be like, please tell me I don't have any more fucking work to do or whatever it was that they were saying. And I would immediately be like, calm down, Jeff. No, I'm not calling you. Like, you're fine. Come on in. Or like whatever. They would start joking and I would just know. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, you do like pick up on the little subtleties in people's voices. It is very unique, but your voice is generally very individualized, unique for you, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, the only time I can think where something could be mistaken for somebody else would be like mothers and daughters often sound alike,
Yeah.
or sisters sound alike, or brothers,
Yes.
you
I
know?
had never heard anybody that sounded more alike than the Dillmans. Mike Dillman that I went to school with,
Yes.
him and his dad,
Mhm.
they his dad just sounded aged, like an older version of Mike. Like
Okay.
give it 20 years and Mike's gonna sound like they had like their vocal cords are unique. Like they had like Mike had a weirdness to his voice, not bad, not making fun of him, but it was
Right.
very unique.
Unique.
And I was like, never heard a voice like that before. And I heard his dad and I was like, oh, that's so weird. Like your fucking vocal cords are fucking mimicked after your dad. So like I've experienced that before where you're
Yes.
like, wow, it really runs in the family.
Mhm.
And people say you and I sometimes, Grandma said when she watches sometimes that I sound a lot like you. I think when people sing, you can mimic a lot better than
Mm.
when you're just talking in your regular tone.
Right, right.
Like when I like, I don't want to work when I do my Paula Cole. But yeah, you would think that that would help somebody to be like, oh, I recognize that
You
voice.
would think.
But sometimes people do, and they're like, no, but not in a murder. He would never, like, or who recognizes it? His best friend, his mom, people that aren't going to fucking call, anyways, you know?
Could be. So then after the call disconnects, it was estimated to be around 10:45 or 11 o'clock. All 6 victims were shot in the back room. 5 died from the execution style gunshot wounds to the head. And at least one of them was shot multiple times. The police have kept details back like they do so that if they get a confession, you know,
They have to keep some
they
stuff,
don't
yeah.
have false confessions. They can tell who's making a false
Right.
confession.
Withheld. Some of the evidence is purposefully withheld.
Yes.
Yes.
So one woman was shot, but she reportedly moved her head at the time of the shooting, and that caused the bullet to hit her in the neck. She played dead then until the gunman left the store, which wasn't too far after he shot everybody because the police showed up
So
relatively
why it
quickly.
escalated was because she got loose and made that call, and he thought, "Fuck, now the cops are coming,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna go to jail because
Everybody
the
recognizes
cops are on
me.
their way, and y'all are gonna tell them what I look like."
Hmm. So it was just a quick boom, 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 boom.
You don't think? I mean, armed robbery is a hefty sentence, I'm sure, but you don't think that it's less likely to get caught than murder? Like
I
you didn't
know.
think there were any cameras anywhere in that fucking shopping vicinity, or I
It just his purpose is very hard to figure.
he sounds really fucking stupid.
Right.
Just fucking dumb.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't you just wear a mask so that no one could tell who the fuck you are anyways? I don't gotta worry. Oh, she called the cops, run away. Why wouldn't you break in, like you said, lock the door? Or just hold a gun at the counter and
Say,
be like,
give me the
empty
money
out the
and go.
register and then just leave. If somebody else comes
Yes.
in to shop, they don't even know that you're like with a gun at the counter taking cash. You just go.
So in regards to that, he obviously brought the restraints, but the survivor said he sexually assaulted one of the women, but not like a rape, but more like he groped her.
Okay.
So I think that he was just kind of playing it by ear and decided, I've got these women now. I guess maybe I can do what I want.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe it was just gonna be a little bit of it, like, I'll rob the place, but also I'm gonna tie these bitches up, and And you go to a woman's store where like typically men are not gonna be shopping, and men typically don't go there with, like, you rarely see dudes in there ever. Like maybe a guy that got drug in with his wife, but chances are always gonna be women. It's not like a Kohl's where there's like an entire men's section.
Exactly.
Or male employees. Lane Bryant rarely has male employees
Which
either.
means less of a threat to you as
Yeah,
the
because
perpetrator.
men always think that women are weaker and like less threatening. Um, so yeah, it kind of sounds more like robbery was a red herring. It sounds like he just kind of wanted to like thrill seek, like he
Well,
wanted to like
that's yeah,
terrorize and
that makes sense because
uh
that's the other thing. He showed up as soon as the store opened. How much money could they possibly have in the till? They start out the day with 200. That's all that was in the till.
well, I'll tell you, the Payless. Remember when Payless was open, guys? I love Payless. I literally cried when Payless went out of business because that's the only place I ever
Did
bought my
you?
shoes, and I was like, where the fuck am I supposed to get my cute shoes now?
Oh,
And I don't think I bought another pair of shoes. I bought some Walmart shoes. That was it. I really don't buy shoes like I used to.
I got you
RIP.
those cute retro stage ones that are kind of
Yes.
old fashionedy.
I love those.
I
But
love them too on you.
RIP Payless. But anyways, I had friends that worked there, the one in Maslin by the Target that's down in the bowl.
Yes.
Um, they used to get held up at gunpoint all the fucking time. Don't know why. Who fucking robs a store called Payless?
Seriously.
Why don't you rob a DSW where everything is like three
Criminals
times
are
the fucking
not
like
smart.
what the fuck are you thinking? Not to mention that do a little bit of research. This was well after the internet was established. We're talking mid 2000s, mid
Okay.
late 2000s. They only are allowed to carry like 100 to 200. It was some low dollar amount, like 200 at a till at a time. And if it hits over 200, the till would force them to strip the drawer down, put the rest of the money in the back in the safe.
Yeah.
So like, and unless you're, and like most robbers come in, give me all your money. And you have to be like, okay, I'll give you all my money. There's $100 in the drawer. That's it. Do you have more money? It's in the back in a safe, and I had to call my manager to open it. I don't know the amount, like, or I don't know the code, like,
Right.
and the fucking somebody's gonna be walking in any minute now.
That's
and
how
they'd
it
be
was
like,
at the gas station I
fuck, and
worked
they
at.
would run out and leave because it wasn't worth it.
You
like,
just put the money in a slot that goes into the safe right under the
Yep.
cash register, but you have no key to it. You don't know a code to it.
right,
They do it on purpose to prevent people from trying to hold you up.
yeah, and so they'd be like, don't shoot, but it's $100, bud, and it's all yours. Here you go. Dipshit. Who robbed a Payless? I'll never get over that. I was like, why the fuck would you even come?
Yeah.
What? Like, but anyways, so yeah, it sounds more like terror was his goal.
That does make sense.
The fact that you brought restraints, because also most like, at least, I mean, I'm not a fucking burglary expert, okay, or a robbery expert. I've never executed one of these operations, but from what I gather and what makes sense in my simple mind is you run in, you threaten, you take as much as you can, and you get the fuck out. It is a very quick operation. So that
Yeah.
you're not caught. There isn't a lot of time. Get what you can, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
So, okay, it makes sense to rob a place where it's all women because you're thinking no woman is going to be carrying a weapon or try to fucking overthrow the situation. I
Right.
can understand that mindset. You rob a place where you think that they might be paying for stuff in cash.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know that I associate Lane Bryant with cash, but
I know,
whatever. Right? Like you said, you think that you would think about the time of day, but it wouldn't surprise me if they had never considered that first thing in the morning. They're thinking they're catching you off guard right in the morning, and they're not thinking that means there's no fucking money in the drawer yet, right?
Right.
That one doesn't surprise me. Yeah, you'd think that it would always be in the evening at the end of the day when it's as busy as it's been.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, you wear something over your face, you run in, you show a gun because, who's going to fucking fight you. And everybody knows that when you get trained anywhere, they tell you just give them what they want and
Mm-hmm.
do not try to be a hero. Just pass the fucking money off and let them go. Any job you've ever had will tell you that. Yeah, you get in, you get out, you conceal your fucking face, your identifiers. Um, so the fact that you're not like restraining people unless it's a bank and you are gonna need time. Like, I gotta restrain this bitch because I know I gotta walk you to the vault and there's only one of me.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just, to me, that whole motive of like he came in just to simply to rob, and then more people kept coming in, and he just kept having to fucking tie them up as they came in. Like,
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
it sounds like planned in that he brought the stuff to restrain them, but chaotic,
Not
in
well
that he
thought
didn't
out.
think through any, like, he did not chess play at all.
No.
Um, fucking dense, just fucking stupid.
Yeah. Most likely. That's all it was. Just a dummy.
I mean, you can say that you'd have to be stupid to try to rob someplace to begin with, and I don't disagree, but do I think robbery's correct? No. I'd much rather you like go to the grocery store and try to like steal bread. Like the old ethical question of like, what if they're like going through a really hard time and they're just trying to like feed their kids or get money for medicine?
Well, I
that they
think there's
need.
even a different sentence for the difference between
theft,
theft
stealing,
or
or
armed
robbery.
robbery are
Yes,
much
like
different.
once you bring a gun, you've elevated everything. And were you trying to steal? What were you trying to steal? Is it gonna amount to like larceny? Like grand larceny, like so much, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, no, I don't generally agree with stealing. But this is like so far beyond that. Like,
Yeah.
there's no motive. You're not going to tell me like, well, his mom had cancer and he was trying to pay for the treatments, and I'm going to be like, oh, okay. Like, no,
No.
this wasn't the fucking way.
No. That was a
Your
stupid
mom
way.
wouldn't have been cool with you going in and holding up a bunch of chubby girls. Like, no, mama would not have been cool with that, you know?
Right. Yeah. His method and everything that he did just doesn't add up to anything that makes sense.
No.
But the police showed up very quickly because they were at the Target, which was in the same complex as the Lane Bryant. So
This sounds like our area. Like our stores are like set up
yeah.
the same.
So the officers showed up, entered the store, and then located the 5 deceased women in the stockroom. One of the women was alive but critically injured, and
Thank God they checked everybody.
they immediately locked everything down. Within hours, the Illinois State Police were assisting, the FBI became involved, and the ATF assisted due to the firearm component. It became one of the largest suburban homicide investigations in Illinois history.
It's wild.
But and they were there within a few minutes. So that guy basically shot everybody, boom, 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 and took off.
Yeah, it's like obviously her call is what triggered it. But I'm wondering if it was just a matter of time. Like if it was always going to end that way, you know? Because ultimately to leave, they would have, whenever he went to leave, they would have been able to ID him.
Right. He would have had
And
to kill
it couldn't
them.
have just been that the cops were coming, because if that was your concern, like, fuck, the cops are on their way, you flee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so maybe he was planning to assault them, or he
Right.
just thought
Like,
he had all this
it
time.
seems like he was just taking his time and kind of like winging it, but like death was imminent.
Yeah.
You know?
Like it was a plan.
Yeah. Like that's why he brought the gun. That's why he brought the restraints.
That's why he didn't wear a mask.
That's why he didn't wear a mask, because that was always part of the plan. It just happened faster than he wanted.
That's what I think. So let's see. The evidence that was collected, there was ballistics, physical bindings, the materials, the shell casings, his clothing fibers that were left behind. And then even though Lane Bryant didn't have any cameras, The surrounding businesses had security footage. Unfortunately, the only thing they came up with was 2 cars parked outside around that time that also left around that time, but neither one of the cars you could get a clear
You couldn't
description
get
of the
him?
make, model, couldn't get him.
Fuck.
Yeah, so nothing showed up on anything
Like
that
those
was
Target
usable.
lots are usually pretty,
I know. Yeah, and then
even then, even years ago.
police have never said whether there was usable DNA recovered or fingerprints. It is suggested that maybe there is because when they've talked about reinvestigating, they have new methods of testing. So that suggests or hints at
Some sort of touch DNA was left behind on the restraints or
yes. Um, in the first weeks, hundreds of tips came in, and then over time, it was 7,500 plus tips that were investigated. That included leads across multiple states and follow ups on similar crime cases that were like that to see if anything
okay,
matched.
matched.
hmm They did collect, like I said, there was parking lot footage, traffic camera footage, and nearby business footage, but there wasn't just no usable anything.
So
So,
they're going by the survivors account of how this guy looked.
how he
Like
looked and how he dressed.
somebody from the fucking Jamaican bobsled team from that movie is what I'm getting. Like with the fucking braids and the braid in the hair and
Yeah. So the FBI assisted with behavioral analysis, geographic profiling, and forensic consultation. And the crime fit several FBI profiling flags because it was a daylight attack. There were multiple victims, and it happened over an extended control time, which was 45 minutes.
yeah.
So, investigators have indicated that the suspect appeared calm, controlled, not rushed, confident inside the store. That suggests pre planning. He likely knew the opening staffing levels, the morning traffic patterns, and the layout of the back room. I disagree with their findings. I mean, they're the experts on it, but to me, it just sounds totally unplanned, unrehearsed,
To me it sounds like I said,
pre
a low level of planning. I'm gonna bring
low level.
restraints because there'll be people in there.
Yes.
And I'm sure they got a back room. What fucking place doesn't have a back room? A stock room.
And as far as them saying that he was calm and controlled and not rushed, I don't agree with any of that. I say because what the witness said was that he came in with a story that he was making a delivery and then pulled the gun and got aggravated um every time that somebody didn't listen to him. That's not calm, it's not controlled, and then at the end he had to hurry up and shoot everybody because
Well, it became uncontrolled when she got free and made a call, which was not part of his plan. That sped up his timeline. Like I said, I think he was always going to kill everybody. I think it
okay.
just sped it up.
Okay.
I think he always thought he was in control. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then anytime anybody argued with him, or like most people, like most narcissists or psychos, like as soon as it doesn't go exactly how you imagine, because you know people will fucking respond and start crying or not listen or argue, then
Right.
you're pissed off, like, God damn it, just do
Yes.
what I say. Like,
Mhm.
um, you know, there was planning, obviously. The fact that he brought restraints and stuff, but there wasn't planning. So then why wasn't there planning for a mask? That's why I'm saying I think that the murder was inevitable. I think that was always a part of his plan.
I agree.
You know, it seems like a first time that he's done this kind of a thing. You know, how the first time's kind of sloppy, and then if you
Yes.
ever do it again, you're like, okay, well, now I
I
know
won't
the
make that
restraints need to
mistake.
be this, and
Okay.
definitely make sure that I smash everybody's fucking phones first, and like, you know how like you get better as you go on, you learn
Yeah.
from your mistakes,
Mhm.
because it seems too, and he didn't lock the door, and he kept having to like reestablish control of the scene by
Right.
putting new people in restraints and getting them to the back, which means leaving people alone in the back. Um, unless the plan was to get everybody in the back and then call ransom in. But again, you only have one way out. You're gonna get capped by the police. Like, you're not gonna fucking get out. Like, nobody would do that. It's
Yeah.
so. I don't just. I I get what the FBI is saying as far as like profile goes. Yeah, you think you're in control if you're doing it during the daytime. You feel mighty in control if you're willing to do it right in the middle of the fucking day in a busy shopping plaza. You certainly think you're in control, don't you? Like,
I guess so.
it shows a level of like cockiness and arrogance and
Yeah.
planning. Like, I know I'll be able to slip in and out.
It's just, what was his intent? It just doesn't seem like it was just robbery, like you said.
Yeah.
But if he had DNA or fingerprints left behind,
Then he's not in the system.
he is not in the system. And that leads me to believe, I have a theory.
Okay.
I think this was, like you said, a first crime, and there should have been an escalation. There should have been more things that eventually he would be arrested and in the system.
Yeah.
I think he's dead. And maybe that's why nobody's coming forward either. What's the
Could be.
point? I think he died.
What if he's incarcerated?
Well, then they would have his DNA and his
true.
fingerprints.
Yeah.
And so that would be in the CODIS and
That's true.
yeah. So I think he died at some point somehow. Probably because he's an idiot.
He would have gone on doing this.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think this experience like scares a psycho straight. Like, oh boy, that was just fucking chaos. I'm not doing that again. Now I know. I'm a good Christian now. Like, no.
Yeah, I think he's just dead. And either, it could have been a self-harm type deal. Maybe he did have a moment of guilt. Maybe he was high on something. And that's why everything was so chaotic. But I do believe that he died. And because otherwise I think somebody would have recognized the picture, and I think he died relatively quickly after this happened. I don't think that he was around much longer.
Hear that, FBI? Check your area deaths of black men over 6 foot tall. I don't know. It could be right. I mean, I get why you're saying why there's been nothing in the system since, why he hasn't reoffended, unless he like up and moved town. But, I don't know. It is weird. You'd think that if he was that, unstable and ready to act on these feelings of hurting people, capable of hurting people, like you said, what if he was on drugs and that's why he was robbing the place was to get money for drugs, and he's not quite rational, he's under the influence, which is making him erratic. I don't see him just getting fucking sober after that, like,
yeah.
Yeah, you would think somebody would have been able to pin it down by now. And that poor woman who survived has to just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Can somebody please get this guy off the fucking streets,
Oh,
please?
man, I know, right? It'd be very hard to live without that cloud over your every move.
Yeah.
Well, the case never officially went cold. The major updates are the composite image was updated with 3D rendering to make it look more like a real person.
Right.
And new detectives were assigned in 2022. Also, a reward in the amount of $100,000 is offered for information leading to the gunman's arrest. And half of that was offered by Lane Bryant's parent company called Charming Shops. So
Wow.
Lane Bryant did a lot, and they also offered to pay for the women's funeral expenses.
Oh, well, that's good of them considering that
It's not their
wasn't their
fault,
fucking
no,
fault.
but
Yeah.
they still showed a lot of compassion
Yeah.
and care. It was their employees
Their
and their
customers, and
customers.
which honestly you would think any store would do, but I could see stores not doing that. You know,
Yeah, you never know.
I could see stores just issuing a statement like, it's tragic. And then
Right,
that's it.
right.
You can't come off the fucking money though, but
So that actual store building remained closed for 6 years, but then was remodeled into a TJ Maxx. So now it is back in use. It also says police continue reviewing advances in DNA technology, genealogical databases, and digital forensic mapping. That tells me they've got
they've got
something.
some sort of touch DNA or something, and they're trying to run it through anything to get a hit on a cousin or a brother or a sister or something
Yeah.
to narrow it down.
It's been 17 years. Uh no breakthroughs and the case is still active. The Tinley Park PD continues to state that they believe someone knows who he is. And the braid with the beads remains one of the most haunting identifiers in modern suburban homicide history.
Yeah. Who do you know? Like, what are your friends? Somebody knows a dude
That
in that
had,
city
yes.
or around there that had that specific hairstyle right then.
Yeah, if you know something, say something. I mean, put this to rest, put it to bed
Yeah.
for the, you know, survivors, the families.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Why are you
Just,
protecting a murderer?
yeah.
And I think he's gone anyways. So why are you protecting his memory?
Yeah. Even if he's gone, say something so
Yeah.
that they can officially close the fucking case and give the survivor some fucking peace of mind.
For the rest of her life, right? She's had 17 years of having to look over her back.
Yeah. And I don't think he's going to like come for her like it was a vendetta against those particular women and he didn't finish his job. But
She can identify him.
I think that he doesn't like that she could identify him.
Right.
I'm sure he
He
doesn't
he
like the
meant
idea
for
of
her
that.
he meant for her to be dead. He didn't.
Yeah. And not to mention that you just wouldn't feel good knowing that that guy's out there. It just wouldn't sit well with you knowing that somebody that cold and unhinged is still out there.
Right.
Um yeah, that's fucking wild. I kind of can't believe that they weren't able to pull footage from the area
I know.
that day, like shops across the street, even or some, I don't know. Just
Those cameras are notoriously bad for being blurry, fuzzy, not great quality. So it's a shame.
Yeah.
It's not like today's digital stuff, like, with ring cams
Yeah,
and, today we have
everything's
much
really good
better
quality. Yeah, I know.
quality, but yeah,
Ugh.
I think the cameras were there more as a deterrent than as an actual something that could be used.
Yeah.
But that's it
Well,
for our case
well,
today.
that sucks. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for sticking it out, and let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any theories about where this guy might be, or why someone would do something like that, or let us know what you have to say, and uh, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I guess we will see you next time.
All right. Catch you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.